G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to discuss whether I am free to play as a player or have I done the sin and spent money on Dokkan. To answer your question very easily, hell yeah. I have spent money on Dokkan. As you can see, I have recently bought the Stone Special, the middle pack. I think it was about $4 or $5 if I translate it roughly for 50 stones, and I buy this every year on the anniversary. So you could say I'm like free to play 364 days a year, I guess, but I have spent in total around $35 in Dokkan if I translate it. I have not spent money since last year's anniversary, where I bought the same 50 stone pack. So I spend that every year during the anniversary. It's kind of like my treat to myself for obviously enjoying Dokkan for another year and the anniversary being pretty hype. Obviously, just to kind of scan through my box as a free-to-play player, I got quite a few units. Obviously this is just my mess, so ignore this, but yeah, overall in Dokkan, obviously I farm every free-to-play unit and I rainbow them, by the way. 100% units, I have over 200, majority of them being free-to-play units. Then in terms of LR units, I have 78, which is a decent number. There are some ones that I would really like that I'm missing, and I did bubba one of my LRs. So I would have 79, but I lost the bet, so I ended up bubbering my LR Tech Broly. I have a couple LRs rainbowed as well, which I've been very fortunate to do. My favorite of which is the AGL Martian Vegeta, just because that's literally one of my favorite moments. It's probably one of my top 3 favorite moments in anime, let alone in DBZ. Although I guess, you know, there's a lot of really classic moments, but it's definitely one of my absolute favorite moments of all time. So this is like a little look at my box. You guys can all take a look. This is what $35 gets you. It gets you all of these LRs. If you spend $35 right now, you'll get every single one of these. That was sarcasm for those of you who don't know. So about free to play, because I've seen the question pop up and a lot of people have asked it. Being free to play does not matter. I'm going to put it out there straight away. Being free to play means literally nothing. In this game, being free to play means you've done more multis, but that's about it, because at the end of the day someone could spend $500 and pull absolute trash literally for $500. So the amount of money you spend obviously helps. It does give you more chances, it gives you more multis, you are going to have better units. But I mean, I've seen people that have joined Dokkan and pulled every brand new LR and have a whole team of LRs, and all of them are rainbowed, and they're under the wrong leader skill, or they still don't know when to use items. Like, there's still some semblance of skill involved in Dokkan, but more importantly, it's just experience. Dokkan is not a game where you become skillful. Dokkan is a game where you basically just, accrue information over time, and you use that information over and over again. In terms of units, obviously, as you guys saw there, I am looking forward to finally buying the AGL Trunks. That's the unit I'm looking most forward to getting, and I'm saving all my red coins for him. So when people ask why don't you spend your red coins on Namek Goku, I really like Namek Goku. I wish I had him. I am a Trunks fanboy. Trunks is my absolute favorite unit. That Tech Trunks you saw earlier, that's level 10 linked and rainbowed, has been a unit I've literally used for an endless amount of time. So, like, for me, Dokkan is first and foremost a collection game more than it is anything else. So it's a very big part of the reason as to why I think free to play versus buying stones doesn't matter at all. And I think people who do bring it up maybe feel like being free to play gives them an excuse. Yeah, I can't beat this event because I'm free to play. If you can't beat an event in Dokkan, it's actually just because you're probably unlucky. Because you probably don't have good enough units to do it. Because Dokkan is literally the equivalent of reading. Dokkan is about reading units and understanding how to use those units by reading their passives. So it's like an instruction manual, and when you put everything together, it makes a really cool end product, which is beating the challenge. But honestly speaking, if you can't beat something, it's because you just don't have the units, and you will get those units over time. That's the thing. There is some challenge in free-to-play, in a sense of the actual units themselves. So whenever you see me do things like free-to-play challenge video, free-to-play this, it's more to see what older content or what content can be done with units that are farmable in Dokkan. And I think that's interesting because it just shows people what kind of options they have that they can get from within the game. Maybe someone hasn't done Resurrected Warriors because they didn't think that, for example, the physical oob would be worth the time. But now they have watched my video and they see that physical oob can achieve the Super Battle Road clearance on a free-to-play team. So they go, hey, I can definitely use that guy. That's what those videos are for. They're not really to speak anything. A lot of the times you'll notice fully free-to-play characters are useful in pretty much everything up to the second highest tier of content. So usually the units they bring out aren't busted, but will be able to do previous content. For example, the LR Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. I know on Japan there was huge flack, and from some of the global or the European JP playing base, they gave them a lot of a hard time because you could not use them in Ultimate Red Zone. However, you can definitely use them to absolutely wallop the Gods of Destruction event, which was the previous hardest content in Dokkan. So in reality, the unit is fine for 99% of the game. And that's kind of what free-to-play ends up being an amount to. Free-to-play units, for the most part, are generally just great units to help fill in 1 or 2 slots of your team as you work your way or as you try to complete content around the game to get stones to eventually get their actual replacement unit. So guys, I just want you to know that that's just my thoughts on free-to-play. That's just my thoughts on everything in general. If I suggest anything, and if you are someone who's absolutely dedicated to being free-to-play till you die, I always suggest picking up the beginner pack. It's great value. I have bought it twice. It's consumed $12 of my $35 spending on this game, but it's great. It gives you stones. It gives you a cool little extra stone that lets you kind of pick up units, and it's just a really cool thing in general. So yeah, those are my thoughts overall on free-to-play and just myself. Thought you guys might like to hear it. I've seen the comment quite a few times, and yeah, but that's gonna be it from me, guys. I will see you in the next video. So I thank you very much for watching, and you can let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'd love to have the discussion, and yeah, but that's gonna be it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Leave a comment on anything really, or an idea if you have one. Always appreciate them, and bye.